I have a unique one for you all today, Ebenezer and the Invisible World, a Christmas-themed Metroidvania crossover I never expected to be talking about. Now this video was sponsored by Play On Worlds, which I seriously appreciate, and they asked me to tell you all about this latest release. My name's Alex, this is SwitchCorner, and if you enjoy the video today, subscribe, it helps the channel a huge amount. If you do want to check this one out as well, visit my link in the pinned comment. It supports the developers and it also helps the channel directly as it shows them you checked out this video. Drawing inspiration from Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, players will step into the shoes of Ebenezer Scrooge in the mid-19th century, taking place after the events of the book. Here we join Scrooge and his spectral allies in a quest to save London from the grips of the wealthy industrialist Caspar Malthus and his formidable private guard. Basically, can we intervene and thwart his plans is the big question. So you may be asking, but what powers does Ebenezer have? Well, it turns out he's a dab hand with a weapon, and now he's armed with a newfound ability to talk and perceive ghosts. Sometimes this will be for the purpose of main story quests, others may simply be side missions, but these spectral entities, they reward us greatly for our assistance, and that is, they lend us their unique powers. The story is delivered then through cutscenes, and there's plenty of characters within the world to interact with as well. In true Metroidvania fashion, Ebenezer and the Invisible World plunges players into a sizable interconnected map where exploration is key to advancing both skills and story. Every area has its unique challenges, necessitating specific abilities to navigate. Early on, you'll gain the power to turn into a ghost, letting you pass through certain barriers or even bounce on balloons, a personal favourite of mine. While these movement skills are going to be essential for game completion, there's a variety of optional abilities at your disposal. So the optional enhancements, these include attack ghosts, with the initial ones granting a fiery assault and a swifter dash. There's heirlooms and then there's children of men. Now the heirlooms, interestingly, are in-world items tied to those who've encountered the free spirits. You can equip up to 4 via the main menu. Among the ones I found, there's an item boosting movement speed, a nifty bag that automatically collects any in-game currency that enemies drop. It's definitely a lifesaver for purchasing health items since the game lacks any sort of health regeneration, and then there was also a ring for underwater breathing and navigation. So yeah, there's a lot to juggle in this game, but the well-optimized controls make it a breeze. The user interface is thoughtfully designed, letting us select ghost attacks with the D-pad from the bottom right of the screen, and then also healing items on the left. I've also noticed prompts for yet to be discovered abilities like the grappling hook and gliding functions. Additionally, with just a button press, we can maneuver objects, and then climbing ledges is automatic. Thanks to this, you can really just concentrate on mastering the essentials, that is, attacking with your trusty cane, employing a dodge that offers invincibility frames, and utilizing the jump and duck maneuvers. Game definitely doesn't hold back on its platforming challenges either. By the time I got to the observatory, kind of the second location, platforms were barely holding up, crumbling almost instantly under my weight. The map is expansive, and while it champions the exploration essence typical of a Metroidvania, there are some helpful nuances. Accessible via the minus button, the map displays the different exits of each area. It's not specifically going to show you the platforms or the layout, I guess, but it will at least ensure you're not wandering around aimlessly. You know, it's not going to be directing you, but it certainly hints at unexplored territories. Now as you do journey, then anticipate hidden secrets, treasure troves, and interactions with both ghosts, locals, and they really do give life to this world. Naturally then as well, each location is going to be peppered with enemies. Some come equipped with potent attacks, requiring quick reflexes, whether that's dodging a ranged assault or deflecting projectiles right back at them. You can do that with your initial weapon, the cane, but it doesn't just stop there either. Throughout this journey, there's going to be weapon upgrades in store. For example, I've just stumbled upon a snakehead cane and I cannot wait to see it in action. In terms of enemies then, they've definitely proven to be a challenge given their ever-changing nature. There are airborne enemies, those that cling to walls launching ranged assaults, hulking behemoths that, while sluggish, definitely pack some damage upon contact, and agile spider-like foes that leap unpredictably, and that kind of just threw off my targeting. That's just a smaller sample, and they're quite resilient as well, but it's also worth mentioning that the version I've been exploring that you are seeing is a pre-build release. A patch due before the official launch promises to recalibrate the game's balance and make various refinements. This includes alterations to the locations, prompts, and settings. Basically, expect a polished experience with an additional 2 months of tuning since the build you are seeing be played on right now. One crucial skill you're going to want to perfect early in the game is the dodge mechanic. While it might seem straightforward, it actually operates differently than in many other games. So here, Dodging is initially going to be backwards, which means dashing through enemies isn't going to be fireable at the opening of the game, though you will later gain this ability through the aforementioned transform into a ghost ability combined with the correct heirloom. The game divides enemies really into two categories, spectral foes and the human soldiers from Malthus's army. Among them I particularly enjoyed facing off against the riot shield wielding enemy and the pesky Luciano, a floating head that just consistently obstructs your path, adding an extra layer of challenge to the already difficult platforming segments. It's also worth noting, yes, your ghost allies can help you, but they can't be used constantly. You must first attack enemies and build up your spirit meter, that is the blue bar below the health meter. So yeah, while playing this one, your primary goal will remain to be unravel the crisis in London. However, don't underestimate the importance of these side quests. Not only are the abilities you gain, like the fire attack and the darting ghost, just great fun, but they can also be game changers during battle, especially against some of the bosses. My initial boss encounter was a breeze thanks to my fiery onslaught. These side quests often revolve around assisting characters in locating specific items, nudging you to examine that world around you more closely. So I've only begun to scratch the surface of this game. There are a few features I haven't explored yet, like the Spirit Kids. These companions are extensions of the character's wanton ignorance from the original Dickens tale. Additionally, while I've discovered a store with consumables, I'm eager to see how this collection expands. A word of advice here though at that note is just stock up. These items can be lifesavers, especially since dying sends you back to the last save room, which can sometimes be a decent little distance away. I've also encountered a fast travel point which will be useful, but I'm yet to find another connecting area, I guess. And as for weaponry, out of the potential 8 slots I've only acquired 2. So yeah, I'm keen to see how that collection grows. Finally, there are materials for upgrades, but the option to use them remains elusive. So overall, for gameplay, Ebenezer and the Invisible World has not been lazy with its selection of mechanics, map or enemies, and this could be well worth a look if the Metroidvania genre is your thing, especially if you want something a little bit different, as I can't name another with a Christmas theme. The presentation and the audio then has been great so far. While there's no voice acting, we get a solid selection of attack sounds and ghostly howls. Then the music, while low in the mix, provides an ambience that reinforces the danger we are often facing, but doesn't forget, that Christmas theme. It's the visuals that are the real winner. However, I love this setting, and the hand-drawn style looks incredible. Scrooge has some great animations, whether it's movement or attacks, and then enemies, the same deal, but simple enough that you can learn their attack patterns. Then the location. I've seen the streets of London and the observatory so far, and I love them. I always enjoy an English setting, but the London streets here, covered in snow with a nice amount of depth so you can see the foot traffic in the background, it just really works for me. There's something about a snow-covered landscape that I always enjoy. Think like Miles Morales or Red Dead Redemption, weird comparisons I know, but it adds a nice visual difference that we don't often see, and I always find them memorable. Ebenezer and the Invisible World was a game that appealed to me immediately when I saw that initial announcement trailer, and it's great to see it arriving in time for the holiday season. Thematically, I can't name another Metroidvania quite like it, but it's not just the style. They've layered it with mechanics from weapons to optional abilities, and it's just a really fun character as well. It's controlled. Even the story has me intrigued, so now I do want to see it through to the end. If you are a Metroidvania fan, Christmas fan, or maybe both, then check out the link in the pinned comments. This may just be a game worth adding to your winter season gaming rotation. So will you be checking this one out? Let us know in the comments. Also, click that link in the pinned comment that will take you directly to learn even more about it. Then with that, hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.